We begin as we do on all Wednesdays on the front porch with Connor Lanfear. He's through the off week, and now we're back to SEC play this Saturday night with the Mississippi State Bulldogs coming to town. Connor returns, and this is about a special edition of the front porch as you're going to see in quite some time, because this is, the torch was passed from one Connor to the other.
That it was.
And then I'm going to stop right there and let you unveil the guest of honor.
Well, the guy I brought on the show today is my predecessor. We're sure happy to have him around for another year to bring the energy, even though he's not wearing the pads anymore. Really special guy, and means a whole lot to this town and the program. Connor McQueen himself.
Welcome back, sir.
I appreciate you guys having me on here.
I feel like
I'm lost for words. Yeah. That intro right there was incredible.
After that, it needs to be like an applause button in
there.
There
has to be.
I'm sure we can put that in there somewhere.
We're getting, as you can see, I got to reference last names now. Connor McQueen.
Mm-hmm.
We've got more gadgets in here since you've been
absolutely.
in studio the last time.
Yeah, there's not cords all over the table. There's now
we've cleaned up.
I have been informed that there is a coff button
and can be used for other purposes.
And can be used for other purposes.
If one guest angers another, if that is needed. So essentially, we've got Connor, Lanfear, and McQueen with us. It was the red zone, and the torch has been passed to the front porch
the literal torch.
Yes,
over to the front porch now.
Yeah, you dig the front porch?
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
I mean, it fits him, doesn't it?
It gives off a much more casual vibe. I think with the red zone, you feel like people are coming in here and they get a little nervous. But the front porch, you really get the best out of the guys.
The red zone definitely fit your personality, though.
Right.
The high energy,
coming in hot and heavy.
That's the very nice, very nice. Only thing with the front porch, we've got these swivel chairs. I feel like we need to switch to rocking chairs.
I am a big advocate for that.
Yes.
Big advocate for that.
We'll see. We're getting more on this show. We'll see if we can.
Maybe some lemonade.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, we can always progress. We can always expand here on Studio 12.
It's a long season.
It is. It is. Slow burn. Don't. It's not. It's a marathon, not a sprint. But Connor Lanfear, the off week, it's over. Excited to kind of get back to it. As like I said, SEC play comes to Kyle Field again on Saturday night. You guys will host Mississippi State. The key to this is health, I think. When you go through the off week, you get the bodies back under you, the nicks and bruises, they got a chance to go away. Is that part? Do you like the health of the team overall coming out of this bye week?
Without a doubt. The practice schedule wasn't as hectic, obviously, because we didn't have a game. Not to say we didn't work hard. We still got our required work done, but there was a lot more emphasis on recovery, kind of like you mentioned. Contrast bass, did a lot of yoga. So I think we're in as good a spot as any SEC team could possibly be coming out of bye week.
Mm-hmm. And Connor McQueen, you've been through bye weeks your whole career now as a member of our staff, and is it also a chance to hit the mental reset button, because things fly at you playbook-wise, scheme-wise, film-wise for a player? Maybe it's not just physical. Is it the mental aspect that you kind of get to rejuvenate as you go in the home stretch?
I mean, absolutely, especially for me and, definitely for these guys as well. It's good to get away because, you grind for so long and, it's on to the next opponent. And sometimes for us, even before we've even gotten to the game, just, breaking down film and stuff like that, to where, it is nice to have like a 2 or 3 day lapse in there where we don't, it's not everything's just so football centric right there, to where you get to back away and like, we all joke about, you get to watch college football on Saturday and actually enjoy it. Not, we get to sit on the couch and relax rather than being stressed out on the sidelines.
Yeah. Let somebody else stress for a Saturday. But was the off week different as a member of the coaching staff than it was as a player for you?
It was actually, because I got less days off. But it's great. They got a lot of we got a chance to get a lot of guys healthy and rest their legs, take a lot off of them physically, and just kind of get back to the base fundamentals of really what we do, especially on the offensive side of the ball. But it gave me and some of the other coaches an opportunity to really put a whole lot of emphasis on the Mississippi State game plan, and then even start looking forward for the next couple opponents as well, just to be prepared as the season goes on.
Yeah, and if you got to watch college football like some of you did on Saturday, Mississippi State looked pretty impressive in a rout over Kentucky, and that can get anybody's attention. Connor Lanfear, what have you seen as far as Mississippi State is concerned? Because they seem like a lot of the teams you faced already with a good defensive front. That's obviously what you'll see down there in the trenches on Saturday night.
Their front seven is the strength of that defense, without a doubt. Mississippi State always brings a bunch of big guys to play the game. I don't think they have a single guy on that defensive front seven that's under 6'3". I really don't. They're all big. They're lengthy. They're fast. They play gap sound football. It's a good defense, and we're going to have our work cut out for us playing them, as we do most Saturdays.
Yeah.
But certainly they've got some very talented players, and it'll be an excellent matchup for us this weekend.
Yeah, no change. Challenge up front in the SEC. Big surprise.
Yeah.
Big surprise.
Absolutely. Connor McQueen, the progression of the offense. You're working on that side of the ball with our staff, and I think of a young quarterback, young receivers to throw to. How have you seen the offense progress into the off week, and where do you think it can go from here coming out of the bye?
I mean, especially with so many young guys playing, it's pretty cool to see the gradual, just overall understanding of what we're trying to do as a football team, to where, when it's, week 1, week 2, especially during fall camp, it seems like to a lot of those guys we're just calling plays. But now as the weeks go on, and, especially now we're getting to the bye week and, the game plan going into Mississippi State, you see it clicking for a lot of guys, especially the young guys, saying, this is why we're doing that. And so there's a whole lot more meaning to it, and there's a little bit more depth to it to where now, I'm looking forward to the sideline communication, to where these guys will be able to come off the field and say, all right, this is what we're seeing out there on the field. I think we should do this. And, getting that kind of feedback from the players to the coaches, and then just between the players themselves, is really whenever you see offenses take off.
Mm-hmm. And the quarterback's obviously young. That was your position as the player. Mm-hmm. Kellen Mond, how fun has it been to watch his growth in 2017?
Oh, I mean, that's my biggest thing, from playing the quarterback position and now, working on the offensive side of the ball. Is I've always believed that confidence is such a big part of that position, as it is with a lot of positions, but especially the quarterback position, since there's so much on your plate. And just seeing Kellen's confidence grow from week 1, whatever we were on the road at UCLA, to where it was now, him handling the swamp like it was nothing to him, to where it's, his confidence has grown each and every week, and his plays continue to get better each and every week.
We've got Connor Lanfear and Connor McQueen with us on the Front Porch Wednesday edition of Studio 12, the Aggies and Mississippi State on Saturday night from Kyle. So, we've got – it's kind of like we're on the front porch at the Red Zone Ranch or something here. It's the combo of
that could work.
Our last two. Yeah, I mean, he could buy a ranch one day. You could run it.
There you go.
Or you just buy your own ranch.
He can just buy his own ranch. He's gonna do well enough himself.
Hope so.
But we do know that the off week afforded you a chance to get outdoors, and you weren't going to pass that opportunity up. There's no way. And I believe the weekend was spent in South Texas with your dad, some of the linemen, and former linemen, Lewis Cheek and Joe Cheek, I think went with you down there. How enjoyable was it to get to South Texas, get outdoors, and I guess just escape a little football for a weekend?
Oh, it was so nice. It was good bowl. A bunch of current and former Aggies, especially Aggie linemen, and family went out there together. It was just a big group of guys, and we threw a bunch of meat on the smoker. We sat around the campfire and told stories and plenty of lies, I'm sure. And and talking about
what hunting ranches
yeah,
are for.
Exactly.
Lakes.
We went out and hunted, had a great time. I shot a hog, and then we went dove hunting as well. That was also fun. It was really just a good time to get out of town and spend some time away from football and decompress a little bit. Watching College Game Day for me was actually a little bit stressful, because I was sitting in the recliner watching these games, and I'm just so used to when I'm watching college football, I'm getting ready for my game later that day, so it kind of threw me off thinking, I need to be doing something right now. Like, I can't just sit down
I'm not
and relax.
bad. I don't have any tape on.
Exactly. I don't have
wrong?
any tape on me right now. Something's wrong. But all in all, it was an excellent trip, and we had a great time.
Yeah, you need to go with him on one of these excursions.
Yeah, it's a progression. I got my invite to the front porch now, so
there you go. That's right.
Hopefully I do well enough to.
Well, next it's a small fishing excursion here in town,
right?
And then it's the ranch in South Texas, things like that.
Baby steps.
Yeah,
baby steps.
He can cook up something pretty good as far as what he catches and what he bags outdoors.
So I've heard.
You ever heard of his menu? What he can come up with, and would you try it?
Oh, I'd try anything he'd throw on.
Yeah, so
I trust him completely with it.
Alligator gar.
Oh, I'm very familiar with alligator gar. I've got a side to me there that I've spent many a days out on the Trinity River either fishing or bow fishing for alligator gar. So that's something that a lot of people don't know. But
I know. Hey, you got a little outdoor side to him as well. I like it. That's good stuff.
Sure do.
So, all right, you come back here for this edition. True or false, man? You miss it. You miss the studio. You miss the time.
I thought I was doing all right, and then I walking down the tunnel and taking a left and turning in 12th Man Productions here. Walk in the studio, see the lights and everything. You get a little emotional.
That's nice. That's nice. But well, I'm glad you brought him. It's only right that the student brings the teacher, man. You got to bring the guy that passed the torch.
Very true.
So now you just got to bring Coach Turner down here.
Yeah, I think the only way you'd get him in here is if you hog-tied him and dragged him in here.
Well, then that cough button, another use button.
You'd have to have another person in here that would just run the button for him.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that makes me want to ask you, Connor McQueen. We see coaches out at practice, and Jim Turner's vocal. Mm-hmm. Jeff Banks with special teams is vocal. David Turner, Terry Price. I mean, there's some vocal coaches. But you go into these meeting rooms with them. What coach can crack you up in a meeting room maybe before any others?
I definitely think it's still Coach Turner.
Yeah. Jimmy Turner. Yeah.
Yes. The offensive line, Coach Turner. It's sitting in on some of his meetings whenever we get done with ours, and just hearing him. He'll be rolling for about 4 or 5 minutes straight about their base fronts and how we're going to block certain run schemes against their different fronts, and go through 4 or 5 plays, and then just go off on a tangent and just randomly start just asking people questions that have nothing pertaining to football. I'm like, why is he thinking of this?
Did you get your hair cut?
Where's he going?
Yeah.
Did you get your hair cut? It's because, is it not just the Boston accent? Is it how thick it is, too?
It's the intensity in which he speaks, I think, is really, it just cuts.
Yeah.
And then one of my favorites is I was sitting in there for one of the meetings on a Friday, as we're getting ready to go out for our full speed Friday practice and then, move on for game day prep. And, there's some of the younger offensive linemen sitting in the back because, we're on a pretty tight schedule on Fridays, and they're yelling at the time at the top of their lungs every 2 or 3 minutes just to keep Coach Turner on schedule, and everyone just keeps on going as normal. Like, they're shouting over here. What's happening?
Intensity just to be punctual.
Oh, yeah. No, he said the number one way to get him going in a meeting is if he asks you a question and you can't hear him. It's like, what are you doing on this play? I think I'm going, speak up, speak like a man. You wizard. He calls us wizards. I don't know. I don't know what that means or why. Like, someone will go the wrong way. What are you doing, you wizard?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
That doesn't fit. If a wizard's supposed to be some smart,
yeah, I know.
magical being. If you go the wrong way, that's not a lot of wizardry to it.
Yeah, not at all.
No.
He's creative, though. I can give him that much.
Absolutely. But good to have him here. Good to have you guys in studio. We kind of got the front porch and the red zone together. Let's do it again later in the year, man.
I'd love to.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
As long as you have me back.
Hey, we'll have either of you back anytime. Radio, no TV. We just sit and have conversations. We'll go fishing.
Sounds great.
There we go.
I can do that.
There we go.
There you go. And by the way, on this Wednesday, the Pulse airs. Connor McQueen's last fishing excursion here in town. That's going to be a part of the Pulse here later today. So
Connor Lanfear.
Lanfear.
I knew I'd get it mixed up at some point.
Oh,
Connor
we almost made it a whole show without a slip up.
I know. Connor
Wow.
Lanfear's last fishing
Turns out there are
excursion.
chinks in the armor.
There's many. There's many. You guys are only down here about 30 minutes a day. You ought to see it. But Connor Lanfear, last fishing excursion right here in town. You're going to get to see that. So looking forward to the Pulse later today. Thanks, guys, for the time. Good luck against Mississippi State Saturday night.
Appreciate you guys having me.
Thank you.